Greetings. Welcome back to A Cup of Conversation and Food for Thought with me, Nidra Simmons. It is Tuesday morning. I'm coming on to, remind you I do not own the rights to the music. The music is just playing in the background to help set the tone, to contribute to the cup of conversation and food for thought. Um, Bring this up a little bit. Okay. The topic of discussion today is going to be why love is an action and not just words. Um, as always, I come on and give honor and glory to Mother, Father, God, Universe. Thank you, God, for watching over us, keeping us, and blessing us. Thank you, God, for always being there for us and protecting us as we slept last night. Continue to watch over us and keep us, um, and continue to protect us. Fully dressed, wearing the full armor of God, the helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith, sword of God's holy word, but of truth and shoes of peace. Continue to have your way in our lives, dear Heavenly Father. Continue to provide for us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in every way possible. Thank you, God, for just being so wonderful. I pray for safe travel and mercies as we travel to and from our destinations this morning as we get ready to go and start our day to go to work and so forth. Continue to keep us and bless us, God. Continue to just be so wonderful and continue to give us new grace and new mercies daily. I'm giving much gratitude and respect to our big brother Jesus, to other archangels, guardian angels, all angels in the highest Christ at light. Thank you for being there for us and sending us those signals and cues and giving us those gentle nudges to stay on the right track and to go forward. So as always, giving honor and glory and much gratitude to our spirit team, always loving God and thanking God for just all that God does in our lives. God, less of me and more of you. Allow me to speak what you want me to speak to your people and allow me to reach all of those that need to be reached. These blessings I ask in your holy name. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So good morning to you all out there. Thank you for joining the live. Like I said, this conversation is going to fall under the umbrella of why love is action and not words. In other words, real love is an action, not just words. I just repeated the same thing twice, but you all know what I mean out there. We was on yesterday, and the conversation was very interesting. The conversation went towards, it went on a more of a spiritual level. And we had some people that came on, and there was a guy that came on, and I thank you for your braveness and your honesty and coming on and letting us know your testimony. We need to hear good testimonies because we want to know and we need to know that God is awesome and God can make a change, make a difference in our lives. But I think the conversation kind of uh, got too heavy and it took people off of the live. So I want to come back and one thing that I did get out of that conversation was love. And I'm someone that loves to talk about love. I love love. I believe that I am created in love. I believe that I am the rawest form of love possible. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree to that. That's what I think. That's what I believe. And so, based off of that, I said, well, you know what? Let's just stick with the love thing because love always wins in the end. A lot of things come in and it can confuse us and make us a little nervous, or if it seems like it's getting too heated in one area, people tend to walk away. But one thing we all have in common is love. You can't escape love. Love is a part of you, whether you choose to accept it or not. At some point in your life, you're going to experience love, whether it's the love of a parent, a love of a friend, or a love of a significant other, a love of items like food, or people like shoes, pocketbooks, whatever. Love is going to affect us all at one point or another in our lives. So it makes, I got that light just glaring in my eye over here, so I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. But maybe if I do like that, is there still a glance on there? I don't know, I still see it. Sorry, y'all. But anyway, I want to talk about love. And wherever that flows into the conversation, what's more important, the message or the messenger? What's more important, the message or the messenger? They're both important. You won't get the message without the messenger. Jesus Christ loves you. Thank you. Jesus Christ loves you too. You need both. Some people can read a book, but it won't hit them in the same way as if someone explained it to them. That's why we have movies and books, and love to human being is gonna hurt one another or the other. Love can hurt. Yeah, love is a multitude of many things, and love can cause many things. Discuss love as an action, not just words. Share your thoughts. Okay, but yeah, that's what the topic is. What is what does love look like to you as far as in an action? Words are a dime a dozen. Words are can be cheap. Words don't really have any meaning in some cases if you don't have the action behind it. And when it comes to love, you need to have that action behind love because there's so much vagueness out there. There's so much, you know, things that people can tie to or try to, um, you know, justify as love, and it's not love. Looks like it is so. um, but yeah, so this is the conversation I want to have today. I don't want it to be too heavy unless that's the direction that it goes in. But I thank you for joining my live. Thank you for coming back to check on me. Much appreciated. But yeah, today I'm talking about why love is an action and not just words. People can, we've had people on here that shared some experiences about being in a long distance relationship and they never met the person, but they were so in love with the person and all they had was words. I mean, maybe they had sent things through the mail to show that they love each other, but you need more than just words to have love flourish and flow in one's situation. And I'm not saying situationship. I'm saying situation because that relationship can go in many different ways. So share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. And somebody said, what's more important, the messenger or the message? Well, if the person does not like the messenger, then the best bet is to receive the message, or they have to read the message or hear it through somebody else's mouth, as long as you get the message. A lot of people don't want to receive what comes out of my mouth because of who I am or because of who they knew me as and don't know me now. So, there's a lot of people that's missing out on, hello, how you doing? They go join the live. Are missing out on some valuable information or just some, ideas or different ways to see things. Because like I said, when I come on here, I don't try to make you do anything. I don't change what you feel. You keep what you feel. You're entitled to that. That's yours. You feel it. I don't feel it. You do. I just come on to perhaps give you a different way of seeing things, another way of looking at things. Good morning. Thank you, Nigeria, for being in the house. I don't want to take away from your beliefs. You are able and capable of believing and thinking whatever you want to. I just want to give you another idea of looking at things because a lot of us are so quick to judge. I don't judge because you don't know what the real story is or the real reason behind why people do what they do. And a lot of people tend to protect themselves, so they do things that might look odd or out of range for one person, but for them that's normal because they're protecting themselves. So this can, take us down another avenue of conversation. But you share with me, what does love look like to you? Is love calling somebody every morning? Texting somebody every morning? Is love, having, hey there, how you doing? What is love? Thank you. Thank you for the roses. What is the action of love? I know that I have been in relationships and there's been a lot of telephone conversations and very little of seeing people. So after a while, if you're doing that for so long, you get tired of it. And you want that face to face, that in person type of attention. And that could just be, if you go out and get coffee, you can say hey to somebody in the passing, or if you want to go on a date or something, you know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to share with me. The conversation flows good once we're both talking. This is a cup of conversation and food for thought. What is the action of love look like to you? For those that claim they're in love and they're consistent with, you can just tell me you love me and tell me you love me and we can just talk and that's it. My morning is going great. How is your morning going? I'm learning that when discussing the difference between words and actions in love. That's good. That's good. I'm learning that people can appreciate you when you're around, but they they don't value you when you're around. Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting ready for work. Um, but yeah. What does love look like to you all out there? Rising Live. I'm gonna throw out some things out there just to see if it gravitates, if anyone's out there that can relate or want to take it and run with it. But love is helping people. You can help someone with good intentions. Love is helping. Love is showing. I'm trying to say things without coming in many things. Communication is love. Yes, thank you for bringing it back. Communication is love. Um, and I strongly believe that communication is love and communication is healing. You can get through a lot of things through communication. Um, and I'm trying to not put personal things out there. I want to flow and be neutral. But my mind is like, spill the beans. But I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm going to just flow. Love looks like a big, strong hug that you could never let go. Okay, that works. I can relate to that. There's nothing more refreshing uh, than a nice hug, being in somebody's arms. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful way of showing love. Love is eye contact. Love is looking into each other's eyes and seeing what it is out there that you can feel from that person. You know, what does the contact face to face make you want to feel and do and just that's love too. Love is physical intimacy. Love is physical intimacy. Love is dedicating a song to somebody. So what if you saw someone you really like and you are the only one communicating? You know what I learned about that? We have different ways of communicating and different ways of showing love. So if their love showing is action and not communicating, you have to have that communication of, first of all, to understand, listen, I love this way. And you can share your way of explaining why you love, how you love. But you have to make that conversation because we're not mind readers. We're not going to go into a relationship and say, okay, well, they're showing me love because they do this, 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 and this. Because that's a real thin line of assumption. You're going to turn what you assume into something that might not be. So just have that good conversation. Good morning. I meant to say good morning. I said good conversation. Have that conversation so that y'all understand each other. Talk about how you express love. Talk about how you feel love should be received. Have that conversation so you have that understanding. You don't know until it comes out that person's mouth. You can be gifted and can read the mind and can read the energy, but you still won't know for sure until you hear that person say it. And you use all of that other stuff that you have to measure out and see if it's if it's true. But you have to have that conversation. You can't just go and say, okay, well, I love this way. I mean, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, me and my husband when he was alive, um, I showed love one way, he showed love a different way, but we didn't have the communication. So I assumed a lot of stuff, and then I got myself hurt. My feelings were hurt because I was assuming things that I thought based off his actions. And no, he just did it because he felt like it that day. Had nothing to do with love, or it was convenient for him that day. It was just easy. So you have to have that conversation and understand. Listen, we're two different individuals, but I am showing you love when I do this because sometimes that person may not be used to the kind of love that you're giving, so they don't see it as love as you see it. So you have to have that conversation, that communication between the two. And you have to have that understanding. All right, I have someone who wants to be a guest. I have a couple of people that want to be a guest on here. Recent guest. No, that's not. It's asking to invite y'all. Sorry, I thought somebody had agreed to be on here. How do I take it off? All right. It flipped from each one. So if you want to be a guest on here, please keep in mind that we have to be respectful and understand that everybody don't think the same way that we speak. And yesterday, I think that's what the confusion came on. I felt that there was some type of twist in the conversation, and because somebody was really compassionate about what they were thinking or feeling, another person thought it was too deep and they got off. So we didn't get to hear the full side of what that person was trying to express. And I believe it's important for all of us to be able to express what we're feeling and what we are pushed to speak, because God uses all of us to help one another. So if you decide or want to be a guest on here, just be considerate and understand that everybody don't think the same way you think. Everybody don't think the same way that I think. Just come on and try to help people as much as possible, but in a generic kind of way. That's how I try to come across, because I want to reach as many people as possible. And I want people to be, comfortable about sharing, because that's how we learn from one another. We learn from our other people's experiences, other people's testimonies, other people's emotions and feelings, and how they see things and how they want to help, and suggestions. And, we learn through all of that. But good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining the live. And thank you. You have a blessed day as well. But yeah, for those who are just joining on here, and I constantly do recap and say this. Someone had said to me, why do you do that? Just put a caption underneath it. Well, if I'm going live, I'm already under one caption. I don't know what else y'all see on the outside when I do it. That's true, because I see someone I really like and would love to get to know the real her. Well, thank you. But the topic that we're talking about is why love is an action and not just words. And like I said, we are very multi-diverse people, and we're introduced to a whole lot of things, and what might look normal to us might not look normal to another person. But do we really have to have a conversation about love? You normally can feel when someone loves you. Yeah, you can feel when someone loves you. But yes, we have to have a conversation about love, because we're different. Someone can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. Someone can be very sensitive in the field of feeling other people's emotions, and others don't have a clue. You have to literally hit them on the head and say, grab them and shake them up and say, listen, I love you, darn it. Other people can just feel it and flow. And so you have to have the conversation, because everybody's not the same. They don't feel the same. They don't flow the same. And what is common for you may not be common sense. What's common sense for you may not be common for others. And they might think what you think is far-fetched from what reality might be to them. So even though you feel it, you can feel lust, you can feel, sorry for someone. You need to have that conversation. And even if you say it out loud, you can get confirmation if it's really love that you're feeling or if it's something else. I hope that I'm making myself clear with what I'm saying. So yeah, I can understand what you're saying. If I feel it, I shouldn't have to say it, but the other person may not feel what you feel. They may, be obedient and give in to whatever it is that you are doing, because they're very obedient people. But that doesn't mean that they're feeling the same way that you are. I say that because at one point I considered myself to be very obedient. I did whatever my man wanted me to do. And I did that because I wanted him to love me more. I wanted to stick with him and make sure that he knows that I'm capable of do whatever he wants. He don't have to go no place else. That is a fantasy in some people's mind, because that was no conversation in between. It was me going off of basically saying, okay, I'm going to do this and he going to stay. No, I've done that and men left. They went in and wanted other things, and they try to keep me along and string me along and try to get more too, but it doesn't mean just that. So you have to have that conversation. Communication and conversation is so important. I believe that's why we're all able to communicate to one another with a voice, with vocabulary, with a brain. It's intentional. It's needed. We have to have it. And we have to use it because we're not mind readers. I used to think that my husband was a mind reader before he was my husband. And even in the marriage, I'm like, well, I'm doing this, and you see I'm doing this, so it's obvious that you're going to help me here. No, they don't even see things the way you see it. They don't even feel what you're feeling. So you have to have that conversation. You can have a one-sided competition with your mates or with anybody else out there because you're seeing things and you're thinking, okay, well, I'm doing all of this, and I know you see this is happening to me. They probably don't have no idea what you're going through. They see that you're actively doing something, but they don't know to the extent of how much that means to you or how uh, stress it is to you. You have to speak and express and say what is on your mind. Don't assume that your partner is a mind reader. Your partner may have no idea what you're going through. And you're just going through the marriage thinking, okay, well, he don't like me. He hate me because he's not helping me. He don't know. Or she don't know. We as individuals can hide things. We have these things that we put on called masks. You don't know what the outside of the mask is looking like towards the other person, but you can feel everything behind it. They can only see what you're showing on your face. And you can just have a smile on your face every single day, and they think everything is peachy keen because you're not saying nothing. You're going with the flow. You're moving what they say do. You're being obedient. So you have to have that conversation. Don't assume that your partner already know what you're thinking. They don't. And you don't know what they think. And y'all could be in each other's face feeling some serious emotions or depression or whatever the case might be. And y'all both got the strength and the energy to put a smile on your face. And all you see is each other smiling. Have no idea what's going on in the brain. No idea what you're feeling. No idea. No one, unless your stomach is growling, okay, you can hear maybe they're hungry. But I'm saying, without the obvious showing out there, you're going to have nothing but a mask facing two people. And you're not going to know what is going on behind the scenes until you open up your mouth and express and tell the person how you feel and what's going on. A lot of people don't want to tell people they love them because they feel their action shows. No. I'm a literal person. And I know I'm not the only literal person out there. And I know there is levels of people that's thinking very literal. To the bone, word right out the mouth. That's how they're going to flow and go with it. And others can sit there and assess the situation and think, okay, don't mean just like that. But you have to have that conversation. Don't let nobody assume because it's not real 100%. It's an assumption. And every time you assume, you make a donkey booty out of yourself. So why not get the answer directly from the mouth? Why not say to somebody, I love you. I appreciate you. I want you to stick with me. I want you to have conversations with me. I want you to call me every morning and say good morning. I want you to make sure that you say good night to me every evening. You need to say these things. Don't assume somebody's going to do it. Because if you do it and don't respond the way that the other person is looking for it, it's going to stop. And then you're going to think, oh, what happened? Maybe the person found somebody else. If you're not responding back to, trust me, I have been in plenty of relationships where I've give, and others take. And I don't get back what I'm giving. After a while, and this is me, years of doing this before I realized enough is enough. After a while, I'm going to stop giving. That doesn't make me a bad person because I realize, wait a minute, I'm giving too much. That doesn't. That doesn't mean, oh, you just showed and teach me something. As the Keith plays softly in the background. Well, I'm glad you felt that. Okay. And the point that I'm trying to make is we really have to have that conversation and we really have to talk about love, and love has to be shown. Because you have people that have been in situations and they're giving people the benefit of the doubt. I know the last one wasn't good. This one is going to be better. Turns out to be the same thing as the last, and on to the next, same thing as the last, and on to the next. Same. After a while, you're like, you know what? Enough is enough. Love is not give and take. Love is not give and take. I like your classes or glasses. You like my classes? Or thank you. Basically. Love is give and take, but it's give and take evenly together. Well, I'm not going to say evenly because some people are real patient with other people, so they'll take something as opposed to the other one wants to take a whole lot. But love is give and take. It's just not take, 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 or give, 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 and nothing in return. It has to be where both parties feel appreciated. Oh, glasses. Well, thank you. It has to be both parts coming together, showing, I like your live. Thank you. Thank you for joining the live. If you say need more, say it. Exactly. Say it. Don't assume. I'm pretty sure when you get into, and even in your intimate moments, some people won't even say nothing. They'll just sit there and take it. Thank you so much for the compliments. Couples should try to be on they should try to be on the same page. But yeah, sometimes you have to say, because I'm pretty sure some people, when y'all get to your intimate moments, y'all direct, no, right, not there, right there, yeah, right. You're real vocal then, and you tell them exactly what you want because you want to feel what you feel. Be that way when you're talking to them in other areas. And sometimes people don't say nothing; they just sit there and take it like the color purple. But anyway, say you want a hug, yeah, and give the hug. We got people, okay, and I'm gonna say it the way I heard it. We have men that don't want to be sensitive to their women. If you need to be touched a certain way, say exactly. I understand that feeling. Yeah, say it. Don't be afraid to say it. And sometimes people need time to be around people to get comfortable. So, and I'm saying this too because somebody out there might be feeling the same way. I know I'm not the only one. Thank you. Love is showing examples, holding hands and looking someone in the eyes and showing and saying, yeah. Some people might not want to show PDA affection. Okay, you don't have to do it all the time. But if you know your partner loves it, are you going to not ever do it because you don't like it? Just a question to ask. I got a couple of questions that came to mind. That is why I'm solo. It's just me and my pup rocks. Well, to whatever floats your boat. What I'm saying, when is it okay for a party who is so set in their ways to bend a little so that their partner knows that they're loved? You have people that have so many different ways of showing their love. Like we have the 5 languages of love. People have different ways of showing that they love somebody. I have been through so much drama. I understand that. I mean, I don't understand you personally, but for someone that has been through a lot of drama, and that's what I was saying before when it comes to being in past relationships, you could get involved. You can get involved with somebody now, and you're just starting off in a relationship or getting into a relationship, and you don't know the baggage or all the stuff that the other person have went through. But they're going to see past all of that because they want to get into a relationship. They like you, and they want to go forward and pursue something with you. And you're sitting there not saying nothing to that person, and this, by you not saying nothing to that person or having that conversation, you're triggering all these things in this person, and they're trying their hardest to just make sure that they can ignore the past because they feel like they're over it and move forward. But you're just constantly doing things that's triggering the things in their past, and it's making them think, well, maybe this is the same type of mess that I've been through before. You won't know until you have that conversation. People can share. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say, well, don't tell too much information because you might scare the other person away. If you're in a relationship and you're trying to make a relationship work and you want to move forward, there's no such thing as not tell too much, especially if there's things that you had to overcome in the past and things that you had tried hard to be better in. You need to have that conversation. The funniest thing is trying to find someone online. The funniest thing is trying to find somebody online. You don't really get to know the true person online. If you see someone online and then you meet them in person, it's not, you're going to see something different. And I'm saying this to say that I've met people offline and they saw me in person and they said I look totally different in person than I do online. So you're not getting the true meaning of that person. People think I'm tall. I'm not tall. I'm 5'4". Some people need to heal before they move on. That's right. They do need to heal, but you don't know if you're truly healed sometimes until you're repeated. with some things that you had struggles with, and go through it again. And when you go through it again and you have no problems, no feelings, and nothing attached to it, then that's when you move on. 6'5", you tall. But I don't look tall in person, but I was told in my videos I look tall. It's because I got the camera set up a certain way. But I am not tall. And some people say I'm big. And I don't think I'm skinny. I think I'm thick in some areas, but I'm not fat. So the cameras can give you a different illusion on who you are and how you are. So you need to have that have that conversation in person. But some people say I don't have all the attributes. I know I have some. I don't think I have all. And it's all in perception. I'm 5'4" on a good day. So, the camera can give you false illusions to other people. So trying to figure out or get to know a person online is a little different. My Pisces, and I never had any problem with showing love or receiving without a conversation. That's good. 6'5". We got a lot of tall brothers out here. But yeah. And that's good that you don't have a problem having that conversation. But you have people that and I don't know, this is how I see it, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. If a man and a woman is trying to get to know each other, and let's say one person needs to be around that person to feel them so they can be comfortable around them, I feel that sometimes the men get some type of signal and then they try to back away so that the female or the other person can't get comfortable with them enough. You have a blessed night. I'm getting well, go take care. Handle your business before you have to clean up a mess. Have a good night. Thank you for joining the live. Much appreciated. But yeah, communication and conversation is very important. Don't bypass it. It's important. Don't get nervous and feel like, oh, I don't want to talk about this, or it might get too deep. Have that conversation. You need to be able to, I think, in a relationship, you should be comfortable with one another. There should be no moments of, oh, gosh, should I say this out? I mean, if you have that conversation, you'll know what you need to do. You know how to move around and maneuver in a relationship once you have that conversation. I was told that I ask a lot of questions. They think I'm being nosy. No, I'm trying to get to know you. I'm not trying to be nosy. I want to get past certain levels of comfort within myself, because I get nervous around people. I mean, I may come off like I'm confident. I am confident. I'm not gonna say I'm not, but that doesn't take away the fact that I might get nervous around a person. I still, I get shy. Do you like taking pictures or shy? You like I take pictures. I don't mind taking pictures. Can you do a little? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't mind taking pictures. I take pictures. I got nothing but pictures on my profile. You looking on my pages, you got all different types of pictures of me. I look different in almost all my pictures. I don't try to look the same. And that's intentional, because I don't want to look like what I'm going through if I'm going through stuff in my personal life. I don't want that to show if it's not a good thing. I try to be positive. I am single and businessman. Well, congratulations, businessman in Ghana. Okay. It was to date you. We never have conversation. You feel great. Trust me. Love. Conversation is still important. You still have to have a conversation. If I'm telling you conversation is important and you want to date me and we don't have a conversation, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You have to, if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, I understand it takes time. Please understand, I know that you have to take time to get to know one another. But at some point, you have to give some type of leeway for a person to know that you're on board. Like if you constantly going in and adjusting yourself for that person, adjusting yourself for that person, adjusting yourself for that person, they're gonna always be fine. But if you don't get no type of flag or some type of rope to grab on to say, okay, continue on, how is that person that's used to giving going to know that this is not another one of those give relationships? You understand what I'm saying? I hope I said that clear because it felt like I needed to say that. For I just felt that it felt personal on that one too. So, you know, at some point you have to. It's like a teeter saw, give and take, give and take. It can't be just do one person constantly adjusting themselves to appease you, and you're not doing anything to appease that other person. Good morning. Thank you for joining live. You have to have that conversation, communication, and learn about somebody. See, somebody can feel somebody and know that they've been through a lot of stuff, and know based off of some of the stuff that they say that you have to kind of walk around very gently with that person. And then if you're constantly doing that, and then when you get into your moments of, okay, well, I'm doing all of this for them and everything, how do I know they feel the same way about me? At that point, you know what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm coming from? It's got to be at some point, and thank you for the roses. I see it. Thank you so much. At some point, you're gonna have to bend a little bit for that other person. It can't be just someone always bending over like they're Alex the girl from The Incredibles. You're gonna have to come and meet that person somewhere. And I understand it takes time, but if someone has been through stuff and they're at the point to where, you know what, I've learned that I can move on and don't have to have a person, but want a person, it's not going to be hard for them to just go. It's not going to be hard for them to move on and leave you back there. People don't want to feel like their time is being wasted. Nobody does. In a relationship, at the workplace, in the line for food, in the line for buying, purchasing items, you don't want to feel like your time is wasted. And if you know what it feels like, why would you make somebody else feel like it? Pisces love to talk. Okay. Yes, that's true. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you. Much appreciated. So it's like you you got to meet somebody at some point, and it's not necessarily on your time frame, because your time frame might not be the same as the other person's time frame. But it is important to have patience and have that conversation. You can't tell. I'm a Gemini. I know people say, "Ooh, Geminis," and the Geminis are not bad people. None of this. We're all part of this. All of the signs. We have all of the signs in us. It's just some of us gravitate more to a particular one that overrules, and that's how you're that sign. In my opinion, don't quote me on that, but I do believe we all have a lot of other signs within us, depending on the way that the world moves and how the planets meet. We all have things that's in us that are trigger out in upbringing. Well, thank you for joining the live. Have a wonderful day. Remember to keep your peace. Don't let nobody take you out of character. That is my my new motto for this month. It might change next month. Oh, okay. but yeah, you know, don't let nobody take you out of character, because people get a thrill of seeing you lose it. And I don't understand why, because we all lose it at some point. We all get angry. We all get happy. We all get sad. Hello. Thank you for joining the live. How you doing? But yeah, for those that are just joining on, the conversation, if you have not already picked up on it, is why love is an action and not words. Thank you for the compliment. And we're having a conversation about how important conversations are. I believe communication and conversation is such a big healing factor. It is a form of healing, and it's needed. It's needed. I mean, I like Alphas, and my friend name is Kenny, and he's date anybody. Okay, cool. But a Gemini discussion, communication, and patience in relationships. Ask your question. AI be just putting some things up there just based off of it's interesting how AI plays a part into these lives. It's like you don't need a person to put your stuff together. It's cool in some aspects because when I come on, I come in with just a piece of something and I'm trusting God to flow and allow it to go into something really big. And AI has managed to put in different questions for me, for you all out there, to help contribute to the conversation. So it's making it easier for me because it's bringing everything that I'm saying into one sentence. And I know I can go around things and it might take a minute to get there. And hopefully you're patient enough to stay there. But AI can just take it and put it into one simple thing. And I'm not promoting AI and as far as a big thing. I'm just acknowledging what it's doing right now on the lives. But yeah. Um, but um, but yeah, communication, conversation is so important. Love being in action is so important because you can talk and words are cheap, especially if you're so used to people gaslighting you. Good morning, thank you for joining the live. And trying to, was it love bomb you, tell you all these wonderful things about you in like the first 5 minutes of even knowing you, as if you're supposed to take them serious. Thank you. Let them know you appreciate. I appreciate you all out there. Personally, questions for you are in a relationship right now. We're always in relationships, whether it's a friendship. I don't like situationships. I don't classify myself for that. But we're always in relationships. So you in relationships with people every day. You get to know people every day. So, but yeah, communication, conversation is very important, and it's something that should be had. That's the magical words. You can dance around every topic, and you don't know what the truth is about it because there's no action shown. It's just words being thrown back at you. But yeah, that was. But yeah, conversation, communication, communication, and conversation is very important, and needed in everything, especially if you're in the beginning stages of your relationship. Because I know a lot of people don't want their time wasted. You you get all excited about meeting somebody, especially if you haven't met somebody in a while, and then you think that it's going somewhere, but then you got people that don't know how to communicate and think it's okay because if they don't talk, they feel like they're showing action. But if you're not around somebody every day, how do you feel it's okay that your little bit of actions is going to mean a lot? Lord, no, please don't waste my time. But that brought up something in my mind that I just heard from the person that said it was a Pisces and they love to communicate. How is someone supposed to, like, now let's say if you are communicating, it's a long distance relationship, right? And all you do is talk and then you do things occasionally to help the other person out, if they're in need. But how is that person really supposed to know how you really feel about them if you don't tell them? You're having conversations, yes. Your conversations are good, yes. Some people are gifted and they can just have a conversation. They can hold a conversation. They can keep a conversation going. Some people are gifted in that fashion. That's just a gift and talent that they have. That doesn't mean anything else other than that in some cases. But some people need to know more that about how they feel. So you help them out. They explain things to you and say they need help or something like that, and you help them out and everything. And then that's it. And then y'all continue to talk and everything. So how do you know if that person didn't just consider you to be a friend or even use the word as friend, and it's not just that? And they might be thinking it's more in their mind because, oh, I helped you with this amount, or I helped you with this situation, I helped you with that. And, there's got to be a communication in between to know. Neither one of y'all are mind readers. And some of the times, y'all never even met. Y'all just communicating over the phone. And I think, our intuition and our discernment works well over the phone, but it works even better in person. Even better, because you have that eye contact. You can look into somebody's eyes and you can see. And based off of you looking, all your senses are starting to activate. When you look at somebody's eyes face to face, you'll get a feeling inside, whether it's warm, whether it's cold. Your discernment will let me know, okay, this is the truth or this is not the truth. Your intuition will be like, okay, you know what? They did that. That's a sign that they're not really sick. You need all of that to get to know a person. You can't just keep that conversation on the phone and just say that's it. I'm speaking from experience, because people can lie to you over the phone, and they can tell you, they can, what's that word? I want to say photobomb, but it's not photobomb. They can love bomb you, and they can tell you all these things. I mean, one year I went on the live, and please don't use the word discernment. It's a trigger word for me right now. I know that. Yeah, that's true. Okay. If it's a trigger word for you, is it because you didn't follow it? Because I always talk about it because it's important. I want people to be able to use it. I don't want people to ignore it. I've been hearing your pain. You hear my pain. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and if it's a trigger word, then maybe it was meant for us to have this conversation this morning so that it can no longer be a trigger. No, the person that used it didn't practice it. Oh. So you used it and the other person didn't. Valentine. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Are you a New Yorker? No, I'm not a New Yorker. Do I sound like I'm from New York? Good morning to you. Thank you for joining the live. I'm not a New Yorker. I'm from Connecticut. I'm up north, but not New York. Your beauty is. Thank you. Um, what was I going to say? So then, you continue to practice that word and pay attention to it. Thank you. But yeah, if there's something that triggers you, then that's just a clue or a sign for you to pay attention to it and not. Thank you for the heart. What time is it? All right, we have someone here who wants to be a guest. Please be respectful, please. Uh-oh. Did I do it wrong or they wasn't a guest? Did I hit the wrong button? Okay, maybe I did. On a tarnished chain. What are you saying, pretty please, too? I missed the comment. Oh, thank you. You ain't supposed to ask nobody or beg nobody to be respectful. They just are supposed to be. Yeah. Listen, let me tell you. When I put on some lives before, woo, the people would come on there and they sound like they're in the middle of doing something. And then they'll call me names and the whole nine. So I have to be very careful of who I put on here. And I use my I don't even want to hear the word, but I'm gonna say it: discernment and intuition on picking on selecting people, because some people don't wish the best for me, and I don't do nobody no harm. I just live and be me. Uh-huh. And I know that I can't please everybody. And I'm not unaware to know that people can't receive things that I say. The some communication, the silent relationship. I know people may have known me from the past and they're stuck on that past me, and I'm not the same person. None of us is the same. If you're comparing me to 10, 20, 30 years ago, I'm not the same person. Nobody is. Everybody has changed. Everybody has changed. Whether it's physically a physical change or a mental change. You went through 30 years of life experiences. So you're not the same person. And if we're not the same person. And for us to sit there and say, oh, yeah, I know that person, they such and such. No, you knew that person. You don't know that person now if you're comparing to how that person is. So, people just can't seem to just get to know people who they are. They don't want to have that conversation. They want to just speculate. That's a good word. They want to, they want to go off of what somebody else say instead of getting to know somebody for themselves. And I think that's a disservice for them because, if you thought I was okay and kind of cool back then, can you imagine how I am now? So, on that standpoint. But yeah, this has been an interesting conversation today. I thank you all who have contributed and, shared and was brave enough to share their experiences and their situations today. It was much appreciated. I thank you all for taking the time out to hear what is being said out of my mouth, giving honor and glory to God if it helped you. And just let's be mindful and understand that love is an action. It's words too, but it should be followed with action. It's been a real twin. Enjoy your day. Well, thank you. I still got a few more minutes, so I'm gonna stay on for an hour because I still do have to get myself ready for the day. But I want to get out all my shout outs to all of those that came out from all over. It's interesting and it's good to see how many people come on from different places. It is very touching to know that people are listening to me, and that's not to take away any confidence. And I'm very confident. Facebook, send me a message, Darren. Okay, I'll try to remember to do that. But yeah. But yeah, and I know it's early in the morning. We come on here and we talk, and I think we should be happy for everybody. If you see someone that's doing something that they enjoy, you're a Gemini. When we talk, people listen. Oh, okay, good to know. But yeah, I also want to talk about how love is an action and not just words. And if you do an action for somebody, you don't later on throw that action in that person's face and then still call it love. If you're throwing it in their face, whether it's to prove a point or not, you do things for people because you want to. And that's how I try to do things. If I do something for somebody, I do it because I want to. I don't look for nothing in return. I do that because I feel like, I'm pushed to do that. This person needs help. I know what it's like to need help and you don't get it. I would need to continue conversating this down certain prices now. Okay, yes. Do not weaponize it. Hello. Thank you for joining the live. Good day to you all. But yeah, so if you're going to do something for somebody, do it because you want to, and then let it go. Especially if you're doing something for somebody and they tell you they don't like to ask for help, and it really does something to them when they ask for help. And then you're going to throw it back in their face. They're like, this is why I don't ask for help. And this is all about communication and conversation, because what you might do, you might see to be harmless coming from out of your mouth, but from the other person, it's not harmless. Good morning, people see me as creepy, or maybe that is my head because I enjoy meeting new people now. I love much. Have a good day later for you. Okay, have a good day. Yeah, some people want the help, but some people could have been asking for help for a long time. I can't do insecure people. I can relate to that. Um, but when you say you can't do insecure people, sometimes you might be that strong person to make that insecure person secure. So don't and I'm not telling you what to do, but sometimes we are put in people's lives for time, reasons, and seasons. We just need to know when to leave. And some of us have that cutoff game with no problem because we know that, we're in people's life for time, reason, and season. So when it's time to go, it's time to go. I know someone who takes other people's opinion and goes off that when she met me years ago. Okay. What if you're communicating all these things in the beginning and they still do it anyway? Well, then that person wasn't true about what they said. That was probably someone that was interested in trying to get with you because of who you are or what you have, or because they were insecure and not healed. So that's why you have these communications and conversations up front. And you have your own discernment and intuition. So you go off what you feel. Don't ignore it. If you got a tiny little thing that's like, pause for a minute. Look into that. Don't just push it to the side. What if you're communicating all these things? Oh, okay. I just read that. But yeah, so, and I don't want to say like I'm contradicting because insecure people can really put a draining on you. By all means, I understand that. So if somebody is constantly insecure and they're draining and their insecurities are starting to spill over on you, by all means, back away. Don't let that insecurity touch you. Back away. Let them know, listen, this is just too much. I can't do it anymore. So, um, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So, insecurity and as well as non-communicative and jealous is all a bad. That's a bad cocktail for destruction right there. So you got certain people, especially when you get up there in our age realm, that they're not done yet. They need to be alone. Some people really need to heal first because you'll carry that package from person to person. And like you said, yeah, you just gotta one person can offset the next, and there can be a balance. But some people think they're doctors to a degree, and they're not. So men, especially with men, they think they can take on any project and heal the broken woman. Nah, bruh. That ain't your, stay in your realm. Somebody need to go see the pastor. For real.
I hear you. You gotta stay in your lane.
Yeah, they went from it because you're gonna hear it at the beginning. They gonna tell you, and it could be a trap. They gonna tell you how Pookie just broke them, and if you try to sit up and be like, I'm gonna play on these emotions and I'm gonna do the flip opposite of everything that Pookie did. I said, well, that might work at the beginning, but that's not what you want.
Yeah, I used to think men were hunters. Well, if you are a hunter, and they have these techniques and things that they go after for the actual animal, but they use that in real life. And it's not just men. Women also are hunters. In North Carolina, you're going to find a lot of men and women out there hunting deer and whatever the case might be. So there's that skill from hunters that they use. They learn their prey, and then they work on their insecurities, and that's what they weave in. And you got to be careful for that. Not just men, but it's women too.
Yeah, you got that right.
I've learned that everything that a man can do, a woman can do, and some might say better.
Yeah. So you can comment on this, back to what you were saying, and I'm pretty sure that's in one of your chapters in your book. The insecurities of a person, and it's not gender specific, but when you got insecure, damaged people, and I'm talking men too. It's real bad with men because with men, insecurities breed jealousy real bad.
Yes,
and they think they see stuff that don't exist. That being said, some of them need to be by themselves or heal too. Some men just need to be by themselves because they're insecure. Just they can't hide it. They're just jealous. Period.
Yeah.
And you taking stuff out on people that might happen, especially if a man once he gets broken one time. That's a problem.
Yeah, it is. And you think that they're over it, and they'll act as if they're over it, and they're not.
Oh yeah. And throw it in your face every time they get mad, and it don't have nothing to do. It don't have nothing to do with the current situation. Be like, wait a minute.
I'm so glad you said that. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. So I mean that, but yeah, seriously though, you got to be in there. And then remember, I think a couple of topics ago we were talking about as far as chemistry. A lot of people will try to fight through the chemistry. You can't. You try to make. You can't make what's not there. It doesn't, like you said, it really doesn't take long of being around and cohabitating with a friend or an associate or whatever you want to call y'all's relationship to figure out that this just ain't it.
Yeah. And you have to trust your discernment and your intuition, and you can feel that more in person as opposed to over the phone. And a lot of people ignore that because they want what they want, and that's it, and they see past certain things. But you need to just, take what you have. That's a gift that you have within you that gives you an idea of yes, nay, no, whatever it is. Don't ignore it, And I just want to say something else with the insecurities. You got to be careful with that, because if you're somebody that's been, going through years and you finally at the point to where you're balanced, it's almost like the enemy can sense that. And then you got people that will come in and try to, and you got some people that's got the gift of gab. They can use their words, and it's just like, wow. And then before you end up the conversation is finished, you scratching your head and thinking, wait, was what I think or what I thought? You know what I'm saying? It'll change your perspective, but you got to stay focused and stay, within your limits and set those healthy boundaries, so that way you don't let those insecurities fall over on you.
I agree.
That goes back to being secure with yourself and knowing who you are. And those challenges, and sometimes, we go in, we get things that repeat to us to let us know that we're over the situation. Like, if you listen to all these things that's online. Hello? Oh. But I kind of lost.
I was talking to my car rider.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I kind of lost my thoughts. So let me just say this: you have to need to make sure that you are secure in yourself, and don't let other people try to pour on you what's not yours. Learn to decipher what's yours and what's not, and then have that conversation of communication. Sometimes you can just flat out say, "Listen, I understand what you're saying." And they say I talk too much, and I don't. When I say talk too much, I'm very detailed. I work with little kids, so I always try to break things down like a neck bone, so that I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. So I've been told to, okay, I got it, but you just have to make sure that you have that clarification. I think I'm repeating myself, so I'm gonna just stop it at that because I lost my train of thought.
I appreciate your work, and I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
You are an absolute beautiful soul, and I look forward to all your literature that's coming out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So I appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. I love those encouraging words, and it means a lot. Some people be like, oh, well, I used to have people get upset with me that don't even know me, because people were complimenting on the lives. And I'm like, why are y'all getting mad at somebody else? How do you know that I don't get compliments outside of here? Somebody asked me or said to me that I put too much emphasis on my lives in the morning. And I do this because I feel I'm driven to do this. I do this because I love what I do. I feel like God has blessed me to help others. So I do what I feel God is leading me to do. I don't do this to please everybody else. But in the process, I'm helping myself. there's things that I feel refreshed and revised on once I come on and do these lives. And, I give all honor and glory to God. If it helps you, I give God the credit. I give honor and glory to God because it helps me. And, people get so upset. And I'm like, why are you getting upset for something that I started doing when you met me? This I'm doing for other people, to help other people. And I'm being blessed because it's helped me in the process. So just be happy for somebody if they're doing something that's good and that's coming from love, and that is being, my light is twitching. What does that mean? But, be happy for other people. Don't get upset with other people because you're showing your insecurities. And in order to get past all of that, you need to have that conversation. And for someone that is insecure, through conversation and communication, you as a person that's hearing it can know, okay, this is where I'm gonna have to put a boundary in, and put in that boundary and explain to the person, listen, what you're saying is borderline triggering. And I understand that this is how you feel. And I'm gonna let you know that that's you, that's not me. And I'm willing to hear what you have to say, but know that your answer, whatever else you're going to say from this point, is not going to change where I stand, because this is where I stand. And be bold in yourself and stick with that. And if they can't respect that, hello, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. If they can't understand that, then y'all can agree to disagree. But yeah, what Nate said was very important. When you get at a certain age, you're going to have, sometimes you just need to have that time alone. Sometimes I was told that, my mom told me I've always got to be around a man. No, I don't always have to be around a man. I can be by myself, but I choose to be with somebody. I don't want to be by myself, but I do know how to set time away by myself to do what I have to do so that I can get stronger within myself. I'm doing great. How are you doing? Thank you for joining the live. We've been on for over an hour now, so I'm going to kind of wind this up. So I appreciate all of you all out there that came in and joined the live. I appreciate the feedback. I think there was another person that wanted to be a guest on there, and I missed the timing on it, so please forgive me. Don't stop coming to check on me. We can have this conversation again. I try to come on Monday through Friday, at least 5 o'clock, by 5-ish in the morning. But I'll say 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you are interested and want to come on to the live and hear what, thus say the Lord, because I am a vessel to be used by God to say what God desires you all to know out there. I come in with just a topic, not knowing what direction it's going to go in. I'm trusting God 100% to let it go out and flow to whoever it needs to hear. So for those that have just joined on, I'm about to get off, but the topic was why love is an action and not just words. We talked about different examples of what actions of love can be. We talked about what we need to look for as far as why that action is important to be said. You can still say words in love, but show some action with it so that it's authentic and we know that you mean what you say. So obviously this is a conversation that we can continue on for tomorrow. So I thank you all that have joined. I pray and ask that you have and hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy your day. I pray for safe travel and mercy as you make it to and from your destinations. Until next time, remember, God loves you. I love you. Now you love you. Until next time. Peace. Okay. Peace.